Oh, so hey, volume. Next topic. Volume basically is, well, how much space something takes up, or how much can you put into a given space. So how much milk, water, whatever you want to put in the bucket can you put in the bucket? How much coffee does the coffee cup hold? How much water can you put in your tank? That sort of thing. That's what we're talking about. Volume is how much space it takes up. So let's get right to it. If we want to find a volume of our prism, basically what we need to know is we need to, if you picture what a prism is, it's got a bunch of these square-like things, and we just stack them all up until they're this tall. So typically we call this the height, okay, of whatever it is, the shape. And to find the volume of a prism, the prism, we take the area of the base, and we multiply it by the height. So this capital B like there, we're talking about the area of the base. So, and remember the bases are the pieces that are parallel. So if we wanted to find the area of this region here, and then multiply it by the height, we'd be good. If we were talking about this pentagon, we'd need to find the area of the pentagon and multiply it by the height. Okay, in this case, the height would be this way. So it's like taking a bunch of pentagons, stacked them all together, and turned it into a three-dimensional object. That's what we're talking about. The area of the base multiplied by the height, or the thickness of our object. I've got a cylinder. In this case, the base is a circle, right? And so, if for a cylinder, if we follow the same format, the area of a cylinder is, again, that area of the base times the height. But in this case, the area of the base we know to be pi r squared. So if we multiply that by height, and I said area of the cylinder, but really I'm talking about volume, aren't I? So hopefully you fix that as you go. That's a volume of a cylinder. If I make it dark enough, it'll almost be like I never wrote area there. Okay, could have erased it, I guess. So the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. Or, of course, this is h, the height. Radius of the circle, come right out. Okay, so again, picture a bunch of quarters or circular sort of things stacked up to make a cylinder. Figure out the area of one of them, multiply it by the height, and you've got yourself a volume. Volume of a cylinder. That's supposedly what that says. Oh my God. So, pretend that's really written nicely and move forward. Moving forward, here we go. So we've got this sort of oddly shaped prism right here. So we want to figure out how to find the volume of that prism. So in order to do that, we need to figure out the area of this shape right here. That's going to be my base because I've got a parallel sort of shape, top and bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to divide this into some subregions. I've got a region right there that looks pretty rectangular. I've got a triangular region right there. If I've made it right, I've got a right triangle. Okay. So in order to find the volume, well, I've got this area right here, which looks like it's about 10 by 15. So the area of this little region here is 150. I've got this region right here. The whole length is 22. This little part over to here is 10. So that leaves about 12 for this, right? See that? 12. And so this is 12 by 6, which is 72. And then we got to figure out this triangle thing. Well, the triangle is still going to be the 12, right? And so if this part here is 6, that leaves 9 for there. Does that make sense? So the area of this part, because it's a triangle, is 1/2 of my little base, which is 9, times my height, which is 12. So that's going to be 12, 6 times 9, 54. Okay, so my area of my base, which is the region, I've got this 54, which is the triangle. I've got the 72, and I've got the 150. So I've just broken it into regions that I can manage. Now I'm going to do a little arithmetic. 50 plus 70 is 120, so 126, 226, 276. So the area of my base is 276, whatever units they are. Let's call everything centimeters. So square centimeters is area. If I want to do the volume, volume is the area of the base times the thickness or the height or whatever you want to call it. In this case, 276 is the area of the base. And then my height, the thickness of the object, is 5. So I just got to figure out what 276 times 5 is. Let's go up here. No need to break out a calculator for this. 5 times 6 is 30. Let's carry the 3. 7 times 5 is 35, 38. 3 there. 5 times 2 is 10, 13. So this turns out to be 1,380. And since we're talking about centimeters, it's going to be cubic centimeters. And we're talking volume, we're talking about 3 dimensions, so that our unit should be in the 3rd dimension as well. Okay? So that's how we do that one. Here's another sort of thing, and by the way, I don't know what would be in this box, but it could be any number of things. It could be a piano box or a really small piano, but some other thing that might have that sort of shape, and you make the box look like the shape. We've got this one, which might be holding a giant lopsided ice cream cone, but it's basically a box whose base, and pretend this is nice, whose base is made up of a triangle and a circle. And we're assuming that's a flat, plane region, so we've got to figure out the area of that triangle, and we've got to figure out the area of this circle. And we can do that easy. It's half a circle, right? So it's going to be half of pi times 6 squared. And this thing here looks like a triangle. It's got a base of 12. It looks like the height's going to be the diameter, so the height's going to be 12. So this one's going to be 1/2 of 12 times 12. Just half of 144, which is 72. And this is going to be 36. Half of 36 is 18. So 18 times pi. I'll leave that for you to figure out. So my total base area is the 72 plus 18 pi. If I want to figure out the volume, I multiply the area of the base times the height. In this case, the height is 4. So it's going to be 72 plus 18 pi, and your calculator will give you a number on that, right? I'm just not getting the calculator out. Times 4, you do the math, you get yourself a nice number. You can figure out what that is, and that's the volume of this ice cream cone shaped looking thing, or maybe it's a pizza box, or I don't know exactly, but some sort of unusually shaped box that's made up of a bunch of regions. You just figure out the area of the base, whatever it's made up of, multiply by the height, which is that, and away you go with an answer, okay? And really, well, that's it. That's the whole story. So volume, find the area of the base. That's what this thing is here. Okay, we'll write it again. Area, capital B stands for the area of the base. And remember, in a prism, the base is the thing that's, the two edges, there are two faces that are parallel to each other in the same shape. And off we go. Okay? So, thanks for viewing. Hope you learned something. You're having a lovely day. Hope this helps you with your project. And I hope it helps you to find the volumes of many things. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, please ask us. Thanks. Say goodbye.